Hey yo, what's decent? Now I have an Uber's match that I had about 2 to 3 weeks ago that I have yet to post just because of how ecstatic I've been lately about posting first and second gen matches. I mean, just the ideology of being able to post first gen matches on Pokemon Stadium 1, you know, with the announcer saying his corny ass lines, you know, it's just so nostalgic to me and it's amazing, honestly. I can't get over that still, so forgive me if I haven't been able to post 4th gen or 5th gen matches as of yet. Here is one right now. Uber's match, my opposition is going to lead up with Genesect, as you guys did see. Hypothetically speaking, you will want to switch out into something that will take full advantage of Forretress being in play, but that doesn't quite happen because of my red card. He's forced out into a Bomber Stone and he's just going to switch right into his Forretress, potentially to spin away the 2 entry hazards that I just put in place because he has like Genesect, he has the Kyurem-W of his own that takes super effective damage from the Stealth Rock, so I would imagine that he would want to spin away the entry hazard. He does just that, so now I'm in a position where I can actually switch out into my Kyurem-W and potentially go for like the Ice Beam, predicting him to switch out to save his Forretress for later on for the potential fire attack that I might inflict on the Forretress. But then again, part of me was like, you know, let me just stay and go for the Dragon Tail, force this clown out, and then whatever would try to switch in and inflict damage onto my Giratina, I'll be able to go to sleep. Now in comes the Palkia, which is quite interesting because it puts me in a scenario where I would think like, is this Palkia Specs? I shouldn't be able to take a Specs Dragon type attack coming from a Palkia, man. Palkia is a monster. I mean, this clown controls space for all I know. I mean, Jesus, look at that Spatial Ram, man, destroying all my guts. But unfortunately for him, I do take it. I'm able to go for the rest, which is quite beneficial because this is exactly how I would want to play Giratina in this case scenario, because I want Giratina asleep. Like, I will put it to sleep, switch it out, switch it right back in, so that all his low priority attacks, being Raw and Dragon Tail, will go ahead of like potential tanks. Let's just say like a potential Trick Rumor and or like Forretress or Ferrothorn and things like that. I won't have to worry about them setting entry hazards faster than I will potentially phase them out. So now in comes the Kyurem-W, and it's like the big ugly monster Kyurem-W ready to destroy some clowns, and I'm like, you know, let me switch into my Arceus-Steel just in case he wants to go for like a dragon type move, and then he switches right out into his Forretress. That is great. Actually, no, that's not a double switch because I actually went for an attack this turn. Thunder looks like a clean cut 2-hit KO in the Forretress, and I'm put in a scenario where I can actually set up a Calm Mind in Forretress's face. But I decided to switch out into my Giratina also to not only spin block, but to see what his initial answer to the Arceus-Steel may have been, because since he saw Thunder, I would deduct that he would know that I'm like a Calm Mind set, and something on a Calm Mind set, you don't stand with a Forretress. Even if you do have like Earthquake, it's inclined that that person will pack to recover. So I can set up like Calm Minds all day. Even if you have like Scarfers or anything like that, your whole squad, from what I saw, is like completely specially based. So that's something that I know that he wouldn't want to do, hence my switch out into Giratina just to see what he would potentially want to switch out into. He does not switch out, which completely upsets me because it's like, man, I could have like stayed in and got like a easy +2 or +3 or +4 or plus destruction on his whole squad, man. Oh my god, a whole golden opportunity completely just flew out the window like a P-Dove. It's gone. And to add insult to injury, I switch out into my Arceus-Steel and I completely bite the dust with this Fusion Flare. What is going on? What is happening right now? But anyway, that should be his last switching with the Kyurem-W, because I do have the Stealth Rocks as well as the Spikes in play. He can't switch into his Forretress to potentially spin away my entry hazards. So that's all Kyurem-W wrote for the day. Good riddance, get out of here. So I'm just gonna go for the Spatial Run on the income and switch into whatever he might want to switch out into, because he has a whole bunch of dragons. For what I did see and what I do remember, I don't write teams down, but I'm just going for our memory. I go for the Spatial Run and it almost destroys this Kyogre, and I'm just gonna switch it up and go for the Thunder to kill this clown off. That is the last thing Kyogre is gonna do today, which is completely nothing. It did nothing. It came in and did absolutely nothing. You know, so in comes Genocide, excuse me. Wait, hold up, what kind of nickname is that, man? Congress looks down on stuff like that. Legislation has been passed, archived, to prevent stuff like that from happening in the United States of America, baby. What you know about that, man? And if U-turn failed to take me out, I thought, what happened to your nickname? I thought you were gonna live up to your nickname, put me in a concentration camp for me to rot to death. And this Forretress clown comes in trying to spin away entry hazards. Are you serious? Like a washed up DJ, you ain't spinning nothing no more, man. So in comes this Genocide to finish what he started before. He's like, oh, you talking a whole bunch of crap for somebody who's about to bite the dust his turn. And then Genesect changes his voice all deep and shallow, talking about, and there's nothing you can do about it. And he's right, you know, I can't like inflict any damage onto the Genesect. He switches right out, which affords me a switch party and whatever he might potentially want to switch in, which is a Palkia of his own, which is great because I have my Darkrai. I could put this clown to sleep. Palkia is like the biggest threat right now, aside from like his Abomasnow potentially. So I can put this thing to sleep with my Darkrai, right? Wrong. This dude is Choice Scarf, hits his Hydro Pump, takes me all the way to Planet Fitness to take a bath, cause Darkrai, you stinking right now, man. This dude bit the dust so early in the game, came in, did absolutely nothing. Anyway, in comes his Abomasnow, and I'm like, he's locked onto Hydro Pump, obviously, so he's obviously gonna switch out, go for the Sleep Talk. Hopefully I do not get rest, I get Raw, which is great, phase something out. In comes his Kyurem-W bites the dust from the entry hazards, that is great, but at the same time, that affords him a switch party and whatever he might want to switch out into, potentially with like a Abomasnow and or his Palkia still, and or I think his Genesect he still has over with like Ice Beam and things like that, because Raw and Dragon Tail won't really affect it as much as Dragon Tail would potentially affect like something like Palkia. So he goes to a Draco Meteor. I'm thinking like all this time that his only dragon attack was the Spatial Wind. I'm like, oh my god, can I take that? And I do. So I'm like, yes, I got one more Sleeper turn left over. If I phase this clown out right now, he will take entry hazards on his entry back in, and I'll be able to No! That is not supposed to happen. Man, I'm supposed to be able to phase this clown out, and then in comes the Abomasnow or something like that. Something I could potentially set up a little bit with what I have left over, but that's not the case. But at the same time, this is also good, because now since he's -4, he dies in one turn. If he switches out, he doesn't have a Ghost anymore, so he can't like block the Splinter. So like he has the Toxic Spikes as well as the spikes on the field. I'm sorry, as well as the Stealth Rocks on the field. No more. And also I get a cool Rapid Spin kill. Those are always nice, man. I killed a Palkia with a Forretress. How do you feel? How you feel? You feeling really salty right now, aren't you? So in comes Genesect of his own. I think that's his last Pokemon there. And I'm like, alright, he gets the download since Forretress is in play. His attack is a little bit higher than the special attack, hence the special attack boost that the Genesect got. Scores a critical hit. And I'm like, crap, man. I had the Earthquake for some direct damage to go alongside with the residual damage that he'll be taking from the hail to ensure that Genesect gets an early cremation, but none of that even matters because I do have my boy Kyurem-W ready to destroy some clowns with a Fusion Flare, and the both Pokemon that he has left over are quad weak against fire type attacks. Yo, Abomasnow, do me a favor, when you get back to hell, tell Santa Claus that I want a PS4, son. Alright, do that favor for me. Peace. What you doing?